Here in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I got a long ways to go.
Oh man, it's a sweet drive.
The biggest stretch of undeveloped beachfront on the East Coast. Boat building's still a thing here.
It's still a big thing. It's got AC, generator.
Oh, this is awesome. Makes me want to live on a boat like
Oh my God.
These guys are shark fishing.
Alex!
You have to learn to read the water, you have to learn to read the sky.
See, the sand just blows up around these homes like snow. And look at that, the road just stops. These are all shipwrecks?
Yes, sir.
There's evidence that the lost colony was actually here.
There's such bold people going for it. Is this the story of the Outer Banks? Trailer next to new build?
This is where I kind of got created on this dock, you know, as far as fishing.
Blackbeard was captured here.
The Virginians came down, tricked him.
I want to show parts of the country like this also because I think we get a skewed view of what America is right now.
There is no place in the world I would rather live than where I am.
Good morning, guys. Here in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, a part of the country most of us have heard of, but most of us have not been to, including myself. So today, we're gonna take a mega road trip south here, stop in the little towns, go to the wide open natural preserves that it's famous for, talk to the locals. Most importantly, talk to the locals. And I picked this spot for starting the video because I knew North Carolina was first in flight, but didn't know it started here in the Outer Banks. So first powered controlled airplane flight by Orville and Wilbur Wright, December 17th, 1903. Right down there. We're gonna get down there, there's some markers. The first one I think was roughly 100 feet, but so wild. The pioneers, the explorers, the inventors of the time, just getting on a small winged device with a small motor, lying down with some handles and going for it. It's so crazy, it's like a little bit over one long lifetime. That's how fast things move. I'm sure the aeronautical geeks can get all over this and what's going on here exactly with the rail, but this guy was holding it, I guess. Wind came in and they went airborne. Started right here. The first marker there, first flight, and then the second, and then the third, not far after, and then the fourth was the big one, way down there near the tree line. All right, guys, so we're at the north part of the Outer Banks. It goes a bit more north, but from what I've been told, it's just more touristy, more developed. This is called Nag's Head, and Nag's Head so far just feels like mostly tourist rentals, second homes, at least down in this part. The further south, the more remote it gets, I've been told. So we'll be getting out of this soon. This is Roanoke Island. It's one of the oldest and most mysterious places in American colonial history. In 1587, the English sent over a group of more than 100 men, women, and children to establish the Roanoke colony. Now it's known as the Lost Colony because just a couple of years later, they all vanished. Nobody really knows what happened, so they say. No bodies and no buildings were found. These days, there are two small communities here, Manteo and Wanchese. We are in the latter now. And from first impressions, looks like more of a working class, more of a locals neighborhood, and a local post office. This looks cool, big lawns. A little more space out here on Roanoke Island. Wanchese Harbor, looks like a lot of the seafood industry is still happening here. Some fishing boats out there.
I think it was in 1980 that cement dock was built. And then you see this boat right there, you know, which I've worked on that boat.
That white
I
one?
worked on it this summer. They built this for a seafood industrial park, and it quickly regulated as such as everything but. This is a dying deal.
Fishing is here.
Sad because, you know, this is a family-owned company here, 1936. It's the oldest fishing company on the Outer Banks. And,
Oh, really?
yeah. I'm 53 years old. I made my living fishing. That's my boat. That's the other boat is my boat.
Oh, it almost looks like a Navy boat.
It is not. It's a pelagic longliner boat. One of the very nicest pelagic longline boats on the East Coast. tied up working here on this dock.
You can't get out and fish on it right now?
I could, but we're regulated such as that the money, the product that we have to sell. See, I know what it is to sell the product. I know what it is to catch it. I know what it is to deliver it, and it just ain't feasible. When I bought this boat come from Newfoundland. It was in the perfect storm. It has been written, a book's been written about it. Linda wrote about it. Linda Greenlaw, The Hungry Ocean. This Two Moon Charlie's boat right there. I bought the boat from him, and I ended up doing well with it for a while, but the foreign national crew come with it. And
so you buy a boat as a fisherman and the crew comes with it?
No, this is a different deal, though. The men that work on that boat, they've worked on the boat since they were teenagers.
Okay.
You know, so the boat would go from Grand Banks to Brazil. So I ended up falling into that. At the same time that all the fisheries nose diving, it's just not good for a man that want to go to work and try to support his family. You
can't make enough now?
You quickly be messed up if you don't play your cards right. Yeah.
What are you doing now?
I work on this dock right here, and I deliver seafood. This is where I kind of got created on this dock, you know, as far as fishing.
Okay.
You know, as a boy. I've covered all my bases too. I've out-caught everybody. The stories that you hear, they're about me.
What's your name?
Choppers.
Choppers.
Yeah. So it's like you're chasing your tail.
Just cruising around. I'm going all the way down to Hatteras.
Okay.
Different down there, right?
Go to Odin's Dock down there. You'll see that crowd.
Odin's Dock?
There are Tillman's right down there.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Looks like they're doing shipbuilding out here. Let's check this out. Wow, look at that beautiful hull. That is so cool. What is this?
42-foot sport fisher. It's a similar boat as to the boats around this area that take people charter fishing for a living.
Okay, so
It looks like that when it's done.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So boat building's still a thing here.
It's still a big thing here, yeah.
Big thing, fully custom.
That's right, fully custom. Go upstairs and I'll show you how that boat starts.
So is Wanchese the place where boat building is happening these days? Is this like the #1 place in the Outer Banks?
On the Outer Banks, there's another place down on what's called the Crystal Coast, which is down around Morehead City and Beaufort. And they've got a lot of boat building down there as well. That would be Jarrett Bay Boat Works. This would be a cold molded stem right here. You can see I had to make it real thin to make that shape. So I have a jig for that stem, and it gets clamped to that jig with epoxy in between the layers.
So who's ordering a boat like this?
I mean the average everyday guy that wants his boat to stand out next to your Boston Whaler or your regular production.
And what's
boat.
your company, Harrison?
Harrison Boat
So
Works.
he'll be like, this is a Harrison?
That's right. It'll have my sticker on it, and he just wants something that is different than the average boat.
So it's like an artist signing their painting.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a one-of-a-kind, custom boat. So
if you don't mind, what's the cost roughly on something like this? If someone
something
buys...
like this with a T-top is around $130 to $150.
Okay.
I'll show you one that's down in the water that's just like this, but finished here in a minute.
That is beautiful. How it tapers at the end.
So that right there is a core sounder built in 1972 by the Lewis brothers down in Harker's Island. That would be the Crystal Coast area. See, they have a lot of boat building down there, a lot of it commercial boat building.
Okay, cool.
Or they used to. We're redoing it. It was made to be a commercial fishing boat. Now it's going to be a picnic boat or just a pleasure cruiser.
That's a restoration. This is a new one.
That's correct.
Quite often you hear like the trades are going away and this customized, like real craft type of work is going away, but not for you.
Not for me, not for, a lot of folks up in Maine and up north are still doing more traditional boat building than we do.
Duncan, can I ask, why'd you decide to go this route with your career?
I like working with my hands. I get to do some carpentry and plumbing and electrical.
Metalwork,
fiberglassing. You get to create things. Like I've been working on that rub rail. Half the day I drilled all the holes and countersunk all the holes, started to hang it. So yeah, when you go home at the end of the day, you can look at and say, oh yeah, That's what I did today.
You're doing your dream job?
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear as a boss?
Yeah, it's my dream job for sure. Every day, it's don't get me wrong. There is a considerable amount of cussing and throwing down of tools. You know,
There's some challenges.
yeah. But if it was the same every day and sit in a cubicle or something like that, man, ooh, that'd be tough.
Not your speed.
No, that'd be tough.
So where are we going?
We're going right down the road here to the dock.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I grew up walking over to the ocean from my house with not much traffic, every old timer's gonna tell you that same story.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so is this the story somewhat of the Outer Banks trailer next to new build?
Well, I mean, hard-working people building their first new house, you know.
That's awesome.
That's all it is.
That's all.
They lived in a house that was basically a double wide on pilings right there, and they were like, this place is too sweet to leave here. We're gonna build our new house here, you know.
Hardworking couple.
Yeah, hardworking.
That's awesome.
And they're my family.
Oh, cool. All right.
So
that's how it is. Everyone knows everyone, huh?
yeah, that's Spencer's boatyard right there.
These are beauties. That's your competition or buddy, or what is it?
I wouldn't call it competition. We don't build the same thing, really, you know. He certainly is dependent upon a lot of people to get all that done.
Those are big boats.
Big boats,
Yeah.
a lot of man hours. That's one of mine. That's one that I own. I guess I'd call that my demo boat. I've got it down here, getting it ready, cleaning it up, fueling it up, getting it ready for my son coming home. I'm hoping that we do some fun things. It's been blowing like this for months, though.
Oh, this is beautiful. I didn't even know you could get custom boats like this. I thought they were all
Yeah, not many people
manufactured.
do it. There's not many people are building the smaller ones like this.
That's cool. Okay, so Outer Banks, is the culture still holding on, would you say?
In Wanchese is holding on for sure. Yeah.
This is where mostly locals live, right?
That's right. So this is a 23, maybe 2 years old.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 28.
That's beautiful.
That
Wow.
is 16 years old now. This one was in the Bahamas for 10 years until the Hurricane Dorian.
Is this a North Carolina hull design?
That's right. Right here, which is the turn down, it's also referred to as the raised sheer. That would really be indicative of Carolina style boats and all that, but raised sheer, and that's where the tumble home goes into the flare.
Is this for big waves or what is it?
That's right. It'll handle bigger seas. And I'm going to show you my friend Peanut. That's a picture of him right there.
Peanut?
Yeah. His name is Glenn Halt. He died about 3 or 4 years ago. The first boat that I was involved in building when I was apprenticing with Robin Smith was this 65-footer. Peanut designed that boat. That was 30 years ago.
So there's a ton of skill involved.
Ton of skill.
Can't be taught overnight.
That's right. It's a long. I mean, my 6-7 year apprentice was average to learn what I learned. Again, he drew that boat, and now I own that boat. He lived on that boat for 20 years.
Peanut lived there.
That's right. And I'll show you on that boat.
Out here?
That's right out here.
Oh, cool. Well, I like that. I was just driving along, saw your shop, walked in. Sort of how it works here.
Yeah, most of the other shops are not really approachable like mine, you know.
Okay, yeah, it just stands out when you're driving down the road.
Yeah, I mean, other ones have got.
You're basically going to drive into the hull of a boat if you don't turn.
If you don't turn, right. Most of the other shops have gates and are not.
Oh,
as,
okay. Well, I got lucky then.
Not as friendly to approach, you know what I'm saying?
I got lucky, you got unlucky. Now you're hanging with me.
I also grow elephant garlic. That's what this is.
Oh, so this is your zone out here.
Yeah, this is, yeah. This piece was Peanut's property. There's my, he's married to my niece, so you call him my nephew, maybe?
Yeah.
So he's got a trip. All those folks there they're from New York, upper state New York.
So a lot of that going on, chartering?
It is. There is a lot of that going on.
Okay, I talked to a guy coming over here down near the fish docks saying the fishing's pretty rough these days. As far as being a fisherman, pretty tough.
That was pretty tough.
Is that the consensus?
That's the consensus, yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's a commercial fishing boat, but he's taking charters to make up for the time, augment his income.
Okay, so he fishes also and does chartering.
That's right. In the wintertime, he'll have a different rig on there where he can shrimp and get a lot of shrimp. With that outfit, he's just taking people out, showing them dragging for shrimp and, doing a various things.
So people have iterated with the times.
That's right. And there's more people doing that with their commercial fishing boats. They're taking families out and crabbing and shrimping and etc. Offshore fishing is still huge here.
Okay.
I mean, this is the hub of the whole eastern seaboard as far as tuna, dolphin, wahoo, marlin. This is the central location for that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, some of your biggest blue marlin have been caught in Hatteras and out of Oregon Inlet. Nobody's ever going to make a bunch of money at it, but it allows people, a lot of my friends, to make a living doing it, you know.
So still guys making a living just fishing?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a shout out to Peanut here.
Yeah, that's right.
He lived in here.
He lived in here right at this dock for 20 plus years.
It's yours right now.
It is mine. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool.
So you step the way I step, right here, and then on this stool, like that. I've got it set up for listening to albums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got that.
This is awesome.
Yeah, look at this now. So,
Wow. Beautiful woodwork in here.
again, this boat is 29 years old. All of this is mahogany, and this is a cane. That's for ventilation.
What do you got back there?
Speakers. I got speakers there.
So you just come out, put some records on, sort of jam out here.
That's right. After work.
Solo mission.
That's right.
Nice. You got a little heater for the winter?
Low heater. It's got AC and it's got a generator and all that.
What's back there?
I'll show you the couple of staterooms. As you can see, I got, you know, again, I've just redone this boat.
This is so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Makes me want to live on a boat like this.
Oh my God. This thing, and this is more stable than most boats you'd live on because she's so wide. You can see down below. That was a double stack V-berth, and I tore all that out and made it into one large.
What's it like sleeping on a boat like this?
Oh man, it's sweet. It is so sweet.
It's just like getting rocked like a little baby?
Yeah, I mean, this one doesn't rock as much as, like I say, some more narrow sailboat or something.
It's like you could have a dance party in here. It's like a dance floor.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, this
You can
is...
see it's kind of a walk-around situation, which is pretty cool. Let me show you up top there. The pretty big galley for a boat, too.
Full kitchen.
Yeah.
Dishwasher. Look at that.
I'll show you. Watch your head coming up here. This is the wheel house. This is like a whole nother area. Right, this is where you drive and operate the boat from. And all these windows come down, you know, so this whole thing can be wide open, which is pretty cool. Watch your head. Peanut, you see these things right here. He was into Harleys, so he had two Harleys cinched down into there and there. That's why he had that. It was for his Harleys. Whether it's Europe or Bahamas or wherever, I cannot wait to get home.
You love it.
I love it here. I've had opportunities to work in really sweet places. I worked in Puerto Rico for a month, and I had the chance to live in the Bahamas and work down there, but I like it here better, for sure. And I also like sailing a lot. That right there is my catamaran. That's a 25-year-old plywood catamaran. My family and I go sailing on that quite a bit. I've got all the cushions and everything off right now. You can see I'm doing lots of little repairs.
All right. Well, I ran into the right guy, Patrick. That being you.
You're talking about a guy obsessed with boats. If that's what you're looking for, that's what I am. I find myself down here every weekend. Come upstairs, I'll show you this. This was never finished off until I got the place. This was like a place where you store all your cushions and stuff for your boat. This was never a habitable place.
You got an outdoor shower.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I did. You can see
This is awesome.
It's only 400 square feet. Again, I'm a woodworker too, so curly maple and
Wow.
and that's cork on the backsplash there. That cork was the floor on the 41 footer that I built.
Doing videos, I've been to, I go to all parts of the country and world. I've been getting in with a lot of woodworkers lately.
Oh yeah.
Just running into them. Like out in Humboldt County, California. Some great woodworkers out there. Working with old growth redwood, different types of wood. This is just beautiful.
So that's cherry. This right here is juniper or Atlantic white cedar. Okay. I use that a lot in boats. That was my first boat shop at the north end of this island. A buddy of mine did a painting of it.
Hard to find guys to work?
Yeah, Duncan's been with me maybe 7 years or so, and he's kind of halfway going out on his own, like people will do.
Like you did.
Yeah, like I did, exactly.
So that's a bit challenging, right? You train someone, and
right.
but you understand it too because you were Duncan.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he also knows that I get a lot of sweet work that
takes a long time to build that reputation.
That's right. That's right.
I don't think you're into the ocean. I mean, I'm just not getting that vibe.
Yeah, this is
just another
more of that. Yeah, charts.
So we're out here.
That's right.
Wanchese.
That's right.
That's a native name, right?
That's right. That's a Native American name, correct.
So all these names, Manteo, Wanchese.
Yeah, Chief Manteo, Chief Wanchese.
Okay, Kill Devil Hills.
Yeah, Kill Devil Hills.
I started there. I came down here through Nags Head. This just seems to be mostly tourist rentals.
That's right.
Is that the story?
Right. Yeah.
Came down to here. I'm going up here, and then I got a long ways to go.
Oh man, it's a sweet drive. As soon as you turn right here, if you don't go on, this is South Nags Head right here. If you stay on this road here, you'll no houses, and then all of P Island, no houses.
Okay,
which is
cool.
sweet. It's really sweet.
So, why have the Outer Banks become so popular? Because a lot of people have reached out to me and said, go shoot videos on the Outer Banks, like a lot in the last couple of years.
Right.
Is it from that Netflix show, or what is it?
Man, look, it became more popular during COVID, that's for sure.
I'm going to Ocracoke.
Yeah, Ocracoke. See, after you get on Hatteras, you'll see the lighthouse here, turn here, and then you'll get on a ferry that goes way out here and then back here. Then Ocracoke, this right here is 13 miles long.
Yeah, I'll have a video from there.
Right.
I'm meeting up with a guy that speaks the brogue.
Right. That's cool.
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead. My daughter got me that one.
Old Deadhead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. My daughter likes the same music that my wife and I like.
What's this place called?
The Happy Shack. That's before I finished shaking it.
Who named it that? You or your wife?
Neither one of us. That would be Peanut.
What happened in the Happy Shack stays in the Happy Shack.
Right. The name of that
goes to
boat?
Peanut.
That was Peanut's mother's name, Mildred. So I kept that. I kept that along with what he called this place.
What a cute little town. This is Manteo. Totally different vibe than Wanchese. And look, with YouTube, what gets attention? Drama, crime, homelessness, conflict. And I've done videos with all of those themes. But most of America, or a good part of it, is really like this. Which is calm, nice people, pretty orderly. Nice little town you got here.
Isn't it great?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Do you live here, ma'am?
I do.
Beautiful house.
Thank you.
How is it? Just calm, tranquil?
It is. It's kind of Mayberry.
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 That's the vibe.
He used to drive by here. Andy would drive by. Oh, indeed he would. He's married a lot.
Yeah, guys, so this stuff doesn't usually get as many eyeballs, but I want to show parts of the country like this also because I think we get a skewed view of what America is right now with the internet, with the political dialogue, with just all the, back and forth conflict stuff. A lot of it is just this, not so exciting. Oh, look at that beautiful theater there. This looks a bit touristy, but there are a lot of corners of the country with nice old ladies crossing the road and nice clean streets. But this just is not as interesting to watch as, drama. Oh, look at that car. That is beautiful. Skeleton in the back there. And here we go, Lost Colony Tavern. I think they're holding on to some of the early history here. Poor Richard Sandwich Shop. Nice buildings, quiet streets. Sir Walter Raleigh, Queen Elizabeth Street. And driving by, you can see British flags alongside American ones. This place is deeply rooted in British history. They came here before Jamestown and Plymouth. Look at this old replica up here. Oh, that is beautiful. Elizabeth II, an English ship from the 1580s. And the name of the town, Manteo. comes from Chief Manteo, the first Native American to be baptized into the Church of England. His tribe actually lived on Hatteras Island, which will be the final stop on our trip today. But he had a close connection with the Roanoke people, so that's how the town got its name. What's the vibe here, man? First impressions cruising through, it's just like tourist town.
Very Hallmark-esque.
Yeah.
You start to learn everybody's names and become regulars, and it's just, hey, how's it going? And very
cool,
sweet and friendly. Everything is all right here. You can run across the street and grab a sandwich from Port Richards for lunch and just put a sign on the door saying, be back in 5. Like things like that. And of course we lock doors and stuff, but I don't know
no bars on the windows.
Exactly. Twinkle lights though.
Nice.
There is a true crime book called Murder in Manteo, but
oh, no way. Nice.
but that was from the 80s, I believe, early 90s maybe.
So the Netflix Outer Banks series, you said it blew things up here.
Yeah, they filmed down in Boston, and some of the scenery they used was like really accurate, like some of the sound and through the marshes and things like that. But the whole like kooks and pogues, like there's not really a good side of the island, bad side of the island,
right,
per se.
Okay.
It is all very touristy, and I think that show brought a lot of tourists in, because when that show came out, the first season, I was working at a surf shop, and you'd have people coming in saying, oh, where's that lighthouse? It's like, it's not even in this state, so.
They filmed in South Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
so
and some in Wilmington.
How did the locals feel about it?
I think most people weren't the biggest fan of it. I think the biggest laugh that the locals had was there was a ferry that went from here to Chapel Hill. There's a ferry that went from here to Chapel Hill.
That's inland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry.
Don't be sorry. What are you hanging up there?
It's just for Kids Fest.
You got Kids Fest happening?
Yeah. We're a local non-profit partnership, so we do Kids Fest, and a bunch of vendors locally come, and it's free for the...
Can I record that here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So free for anyone to come?
Yes, it's free. It's for ages birth to 5. We're a early childhood education nonprofit,
okay.
So...
How is it going right now, early childhood education, would you say?
It's the most important thing, right? The birth to 5 is the most important age, and pouring into it and supporting it is one of the best things that we can do. So, and hopefully continue to do. So,
You get a lot of purpose out of it?
Yes, very much so. I'm a family support services parent educator.
Cool.
So, yeah. So,
well, thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much.
It's important.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You're on a video. You're okay with it?
Oh, yeah.
How many we got today, Ori?
12. Yep.
Okay, that's not too bad.
12 boxes of books?
Yeah.
How's business? You sell a lot of books?
Oh, yeah. We hand sell a lot. Our whole thing is like putting the right book in the right hands at the right time and all that kind of stuff.
What do you mean hand sell?
So if there's a certain book that we really love, a lot of times someone comes in and is like, they're like, hey, I really liked this book. Do you have something similar, or things like that? And we just walk through like different options, and oh, I really loved this one. This one my boss really loved, and kind of give them a couple options to think through.
I love supporting the local bookstore. It's a beautiful thing. Downtown Books?
Downtown Books.
Nice.
My favorite place. We love indie bookstores. We just had Indie Bookstore Day, actually.
Are they making a comeback, do you think?
I would say so. I think reading kind of started to make a comeback. I think a lot of books blew up on TikTok. And so I think that kind of made like a full circle moment.
Do you think people are just burning out on the digital too?
Possibly. At least a lot of people I talk to, they're kind of trying to escape reality to read some.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow. He works hard, huh?
He sure does. Ori's the best.
Ori, how's business lately?
Busy, man.
Busy, huh? Okay.
All day, every day.
Look at that. In North Carolina, $2.89 a gallon. Fill up the tank, not even $30. Have not seen that in a long time. That's for sure. geez, that was quite a drive, roughly 45 minutes. Now in the town of Rodanthe. And look at that, the road just stops right at a big pile of sand. Huh, interesting. There we go. Beautiful Atlantic. Water a bit brackish, but turquoise and blue out there. I wonder if there are others that were removed. It's interesting how that one's just standing on its own over there. See, the sand just blows up around these homes like snow. Lifting that one. And here we have the Life-Saving Station Historical Site, home of America's forgotten heroes. Let's check this out. So what were you just saying? Like, what is this here?
Well, the United States Life-Saving Service was written by Congress in 1870 as a result of all the shipwrecks crashing on our shores and out in the ocean on the shoals. And so the citizens who used to effect all the rescues finally went to Congress practically in arms and said, you've got to do something about these wrecks. So they wrote the bill for the United States Life-Saving Service, and that was in 1870. Well, prior to that, in 1790, Congress also wrote the bill for the Revenue Cutter Service, originally called the Revenue Marine. And their job was to collect taxes and tariffs off the high seas, and that was our country's only source of income at the time. Okay. And so then it was in 1915 they merged those two entities to create the United States Coast Guard. And
that's interesting.
Leandra take
that's how it started.
For you.
You're great.
Yes, I have to go meet a school
so
bus.
This is what was going on here.
Yes, that would be the Merlot Rescue. It's the most highly decorated maritime rescue. We can tell you all about it. And
all right.
She knows all the news. Thanks, I will need that.
Leandra is even more storied than you?
Oh, she's full of stories. She's
wow. Wow.
I'm Dinah, and what's your name?
Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Nice to meet you.
This is Leandra.
Do you want to borrow my brush, Leandra?
Like my son.
Hey, it works. There were a lot of pirate attacks here too, right?
Mostly down further.
Down further. Blackbeard was...
Ocracoke.
So he was beheaded, right? Is that the story?
Yes, the Virginians came down, tricked him. They partied pretty hardy, the pirates did.
Sure.
And so he saw this ship, but he didn't see any men. They were down below. So they come up charging. He jumps across on their boat thinking there's nobody there. He's got his swords, he's got his guns. He would light firecrackers, putting in his hair, so he looked like the devil because his eyes were really black.
Wow.
And it was amazing how long it took him to die. They shot him, they stabbed him, he just kept fighting, and eventually they got him down and they beheaded him. And the myth is that he swam around the boat 7 times with no head. Another myth is that they put his head on the boat and took the boat, Virginian's boat, back up to Virginia to show that they killed him. Scott Dawson, you need to stop down there at the Lost Colony Museum because he knows a lot about Blackbeard. He said that's not possible. It would have rotted. It just didn't happen.
Is this in Buxton?
In Buxton, yeah.
Okay.
When you first go into town.
Okay, cool. So just so much history here, huh? Look at all these are all shipwrecks?
Yes, sir.
Every one of these?
Yes. That's a better map over there.
Okay, so all the shipwrecks, why? It's just a hard place to sail?
Sand. Here you've got the Labrador Current coming down to right here. It ends right here at Cape Point. Then you've got the Gulf Stream coming up this way. You've got Diamond Shoals that's a sandbar 30 miles out. And the Gulf goes around that and it's the fastest way to get to Europe. In the sailing days, they were closer to shore. You do not want to be close to the shoreline. The undercurrent, it's all sand, and that sand is constantly changing. So if you were a captain, you came last month, it's not the same place.
Okay, I noticed some of these houses I drove by, it looked like a snowstorm, but it was a sandstorm, like all the sand banks, and it just blows around everything.
So Chickamacomico is an Algonquin word. It means sifting, shifting sands. You're on a barrier island that's a ribbon of sand. You're 24 miles out in the ocean right now.
Yeah.
So the sand from where the beach is pushing this whole island west and south 3 inches a year.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
So when there's something going on in the Gulf, either down in New Orleans or down in Galveston area, the picture like that tells me there was either a hurricane that started in Aruba or there was something in the Gulf. Okay. Because of volatility changes, it churns. The breakers are sometimes 5 miles out. So that was World War I, August 18, 1918. So the Germans torpedoed it and severed it in two. It was her maiden voyage. She'd come from New Orleans getting aviation fuel. And 42 guys ended up in the water. 5 were killed in the boiler room. 6 surfmen saved them. There were supposed to be 8. 1 was on vacation. 1 quit. So John Allen Midget, right here, his descendants own that Liberty gas station.
Okay.
Mr. O'Neill, right here, who's the cook, and is asking permission to go help these guys out because he knew all the drills. And Captain John hollers back at him, what you need to do is you need to go make 200 biscuits, put whatever jam and meat we have in it. These guys are going to have to eat when we get them out of that water. Because it's Labrador Current, it's cold.
Gotcha. How's the culture here now?
That's an interesting question. I compare it to Alaska. I lived in Alaska.
Interesting.
It's a fishing village. And in fishing villages, people are self-sufficient. But when you want to be social, all you have to do, or you need something, all you have to do is say it, and people will show up to help you out.
Okay, so you can live a high level of independence, but there are people there if you need them.
Mm-hmm. Nature's important. You have to learn to read the water. You have to learn to read the sky. The clouds on this side, on the ocean side versus the sound side, are totally different. And the clouds come over here, they move around, and then they go out to the ocean. And there were some really black clouds, and that's when I discovered how they moved, because it moved around and it come over here, and the next thing I hear is a lightning strike. We had the Lyle gun out, they were doing, everybody scattered quick.
So we've been driving right up there near that telephone pole, parallel to this. And so the whole way, the camera's been off for a lot of the time, but the whole way is just undeveloped beachfront like this. From my understanding, it's the biggest stretch of undeveloped beachfront on the East Coast. And I gotta say, it's got like almost like a bit of a West Coast feel in that sense. It's a little bit of the West Coast on the East Coast to see these massive stretches of nature like this. And as you can see in North Carolina, you can drive your pickup out on the beach. A lot of people are fishing out here and whatnot. But the camera's been off a lot because it's been open road, small town, vacation rentals, little local communities, and beach. This is pretty much what it's been on repeat for the last hour or so. You've come here 30 years.
Yes, from since 1994.
Wow. From where?
Montreal.
Montreal.
Yes.
And how is it?
Very fun, very windy, very cool.
Do you see big change in 30 years or no down here?
The price are
higher.
Yes.
But the vibe is similar?
Yes. We were in Island Creek before, but it's too expensive.
Okay.
Renting the house over there, yes.
You know, I grew up in Vermont. I used to go to Montreal all the time in childhood. See Canadiens games.
Yeah, well.
I loved it.
The hockey game is over now for Montreal Canadiens.
I know, you need to root for the Florida Panthers.
Maybe more Toronto or Canadian team, maybe.
Je me souviens. Bye-bye. I think that's the Quebec license plate. We will remember. I believe that's what that means. Any Quebec viewers out there, what are you remembering? Is it the heritage? That would be my guess. The French language. So look at this, beautiful. This is a nice zone. Very peaceful, very chill. And for any Canadians that are worried about coming to the US, or vice versa, I just think it's a bit ridiculous. Well, maybe your principles are you don't like the politics, got it. But as far as people, there is no friction. Nobody cares. Don't let the internet and TV manipulate you and control your mind to the point where you won't travel to places that are going to be welcoming and cool. And I say that vice versa. I have no problem. I don't know when I'm going to Canada next, but I'm not worried about going to Canada at all. Unless there's a serious security risk, I wouldn't have gone to a lot of the countries I went to where the policies or the political relations didn't align, places like Saudi Arabia, Iran. I wouldn't go there now, actually. That's one I would not go to. Tajikistan, Uzbekistan at the time I was there. People are people, politics are politics. All right, this is a local little town. I like it. I like it. It's very chill. Quebec, Quebec, Quebec. Wow. Quebec. How you doing, sir? I'm trying to understand all the Quebec plates. Is there an event down here or something?
There are a lot of tributaries here.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. Well, that's cool. You love it down here.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Bon voyage. Well, that's interesting. Didn't expect that. Yeah, it's all Canadians here. Ontario, Quebec. You never know until you go. Check this out, British Sailor Cemetery. Honoring their sacrifice. On December 14th, 1941, Germany declared war on the United States. The Nazis launched Operation Drumbeat, a swift and devastating blow to the eastern seaboard. In 8 months, German U-boats sank nearly 400 ships along the U.S. East Coast. On April 9th, 1942, British tanker was torpedoed east of Cape Hatteras, just south of here. 28 of the 50 men on board perished. The remains of 2 men, 4th engineer Michael Cairns, 28, and another unidentified sailor washed ashore. Local citizens cared compassionately for the fallen, respectfully laying them to rest with military honors. Each year, a community ceremony honors the British seamen who came to our aid. And here we have a very small British cemetery. You grew up here?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life. So I live like 2 houses away from the house I grew up. No, 1 house away from the house I grew up.
No way.
Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, I love it. It's like, nature. As far as like the East Coast, this is a national seashore. No matter what, there's places you can go and there's just nothing around. You can either go back in the woods, you can go to the beach. Like all of the sound side is national parks. So it's like the state can't, it is what it is. It'll always be like that.
No way. So not much more can be developed here.
No. This was a pretty big place, especially during World War II. There was a Navy base on the beach, and that was where they were monitoring for submarine activity off the coast. And so it was like kind of hush-hush. There was like a blow-up tank and like a blow-up missile, so that from off the coast, it looks like there was more here than there was.
Okay.
And the Navy kind of left a little mess behind, so that's what we had to clean up the last couple of years. The erosion washed the beach away to where the base was. And there was like all these structures that got left behind, and there was petroleum leaking, and it was kind of gnarly.
Okay.
So but that's all clean now. So.
Okay, so you're a surfer.
Yeah, that's been my career since I was like 18. Not that I was like really making very much when I was 18, but or that I make that much now. There's not much money in surfing unless you're at the very top, but it's kind of like a lifestyle thing, Like I get to see my family a lot, take my kids to the beach, go surfing with them.
All right.
If it wasn't for the lifestyle, there's plenty of other jobs out there that pay better, that's for sure.
Dude, thanks for taking me out here. That's
yeah,
awesome.
so we're gonna head out to Cape Point. This is kind of like our famous strip of sand. It's a barrier island, so the sand changes. But I gotta let the air out of the tires, so we'll let the air out real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got 2 of them. Have you ever done it?
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want to go down to?
Let's go to 25 because it's been pretty windy. It's probably pretty soft.
Every time you go on the beach, you drop the air pressure?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm driving out somewhere where I know the beach is hard, then I won't worry about it, but I just filled these up. Some of the beaches around here are a little more packed down, especially in the wintertime, so you can get away with, more air in the tires. But this time of year, the sand, we haven't had much rain, so the sand's really powdery, really windy, so it's really soft. You used to be able to drive nearly everywhere. And then back in 2012, we got all these new RV rules, off-road vehicle. They closed down certain sections, and it's not as free as it once was, but still, it's you can go drive on the beach. There's not a lot of places you can do that on the coast.
Yeah, right. This is wild out here. All these trucks they're all fishing.
Yep. People just want to come out here and post up for the day and enjoy the beach. Any of the beaches you can drive on are somewhat like this, but this is, you see how packed in everyone is?
Yeah.
It's this is the fishing kind of epicenter of the island as far as beach fishing goes. It gets crazy. On a good night when the drum are biting, there will be 100 guys lying shoulder to shoulder with big rods, and someone hooks up and they're all dancing to get over and under each other. It's pretty cool.
Nice. So I'm guessing you'd have a Boston Tea Party here equivalent if they said no more pickup trucks on the beach.
Yeah, well, that actually happened. So back in
No way.
I mean, relatively back in 2012 when they were trying to implement all the new rules, because you used to be able to drive from here all the way to Frisco, which you can't really see the way the beach is set up right now. But yeah, we had huge organizations. We got together and spelt out Save Our Beaches or Save whatever with trucks out on this strip of sand, because you see where all this sand is in relation to the dune?
Yeah.
So where we're at right now, 8 years ago, would be in the water. All of this sand was out there. It's you can't even wrap your mind around it unless I showed you a photo of it, but millions of cubic yards of sand shifted from out there to this way, and so now it's got a different shape to it. I mean, they wanted to shut down more than they did, so we saved what we could, because this is just special. That's why you're here.
Oh, this is cool. Look at it. It's just ultimate tailgate party zone.
Yeah, my dad said back in the day, so many nights after work or whatever, people would just come out here and have bonfires and cook. This is in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and during graduation they'd come out and have a massive bonfire, and the whole towns would get together and stuff. It was some of my local friends here refer to it as the Buxton Country Club.
Only thing you need is a rod and beer.
Yep. Oh wow, there's kind of a little sand out here. I haven't been out here in a couple weeks. This see how shallow, I don't know if you can see it on a GoPro, but how shallow all that is?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago it was deep there, and it was shallow over here. And that, it's already changed.
So is your island growing? Or it's just changing?
It's just shifting and changing.
Shifting.
I mean, it is eroding. The beaches aren't as wide as they once were, but that's because we built on a barrier island. Barrier islands want to shift. They don't always migrate west. You need the sand to be able to flow and come back. But if you build on the edge, then it just kind of erodes and washes out.
Oh, right. I mean, interesting.
There's evidence that the lost colony was actually here. The ones, from Manteo that got lost, they came here. And there's artifacts that have been dug up from thousands of years ago. This place has been here for forever. Because of the way the offshore currents are of the Gulf Stream and the Labrador, it's not going anywhere. If those currents go away, maybe, but as long as those currents are there, this is going to be here in some fashion. These guys are shark fishing.
Shark fishing?
Yeah, there's a lot of sharks that cruise around out here.
That's legal to catch sharks?
Yeah. Oh, look, they got one.
No way.
Oh, no, it's a big ray. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Very pregnant one. Yeah, that's a big one. Look, you can see the babies moving. You see that? That was cool. You see the babies moving in her belly. That was neat. I had a big southern give birth on
You just caught that. You let it go. You didn't want to keep it?
No.
Because it's got babies.
Just in general.
Yeah.
If it didn't have babies, would you have kept it? No.
We've caught one 10 by 10 before.
Oh, wow.
10 wide, 10 deep. I guess you saw the story of the great white.
No.
You didn't know a great white was caught off the beach?
No.
First ever.
When?
A month and a half ago. A white's protected, so you got to turn it loose. Catch and release.
The biggest we've caught this week was 94 inches, and the world record is 7 feet 4 inches and an eighth, 225 pounds. So that was bigger. You know, we were 2.5 inches on the world record.
Wow. Do you live here?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone knows everyone, right? When
Pretty
you live
much.
here?
If you're here in the winter.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, dude. This saves you from having to kayak every bait. We hook this to my kayak, and then I kayak out there. Today it's not a big deal, but some days, you know, you have a 4 or 5 foot sea.
Wait, you kayak out there for what?
Take the bait. I'll put the bait in the kayak.
You can't toss it with a rod far enough?
No, we'll go hundreds of yards.
Does anyone else use this out here? I've never seen one.
Oh, there's a few people do.
Okay.
But like that thing's like $3,000 delivered. Okay. So the big white shark that we caught, that was a kayak bait. We put the bait in the kayak. It was a big tuna head, about the size of a watermelon. Kayaked it out, dropped it off.
Right. I want to see how it stays on there.
I'm not even doing it.
No way. When did this come out, the Aqua Cat?
It's been out at least 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Probably more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is sick.
Next level fishing. Oh, that could have been... So how far are you putting that thing out there?
A couple 100 yards probably.
That's crazy.
A lot less paddling.
That was so fast.
And it goes a lot faster without a giant head on it too.
Right. So what, you got a button that releases it?
Yeah. That's a release button and that's a return home button.
And then when you release it, this thing just flops up like this.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you want, put the GoPro on there, send it out, drive it around, bring it back.
Then a shark gets it. They don't have drones for this, do they?
They do, but you're not allowed to use them on the national seashore, which is good because if you could,
everyone would be buzzing.
Everybody, yeah, it would be.
It'd be so annoying.
Yes. Yep.
That's pretty sick.
Do you guys have a base here?
Norfolk.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours away.
Yeah.
This is like kind of the Wild West of airspace. Yeah. When these guys get out here, it's like they kind of just do whatever because there's no one around. What are those smaller?
The small ones with the twin engines? Those
yeah,
are T-38s. Those are like the trainers for the F-18 Super Hornet.
Because I've seen those guys flying upside down low.
You
like
can see
you
their
can see the
helmets.
person, yeah.
Yep.
The way the island is now, with all these massive houses and rental properties and the influx of millions of people every summer, is like, this place is wild. It wasn't really designed for that. But like we, as an economy, as locals, catered to the tourism. Now the tourist demand, like they have AC in their 20-bedroom home and home theaters and like all these amenities that this place can't like naturally provide.
When you move here, you fully know that literally in an hour's worth of time, you have to get what you have and get off this island or you're going to lose every material thing you own.
Or at least get it up.
Right.
With hurricanes.
Well, or a tidal wave or a hurricane, yeah. But that's part of the lure of living here, I think.
Locals knew and still know not to live on the ocean side. It's like you live where it's safer. In all reality, even when, you know, S-turns wash out or whatever washes out, it's like a period of time for a couple days and then it's back to normal.
So you guys aren't worried about sea levels rising at all? That's not a concern here?
So not in my lifetime. Okay, say how much is it rising? We're saying an inch a year, 5 inches a year, right? What does that mean to this island?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to keep bringing sand in. Whatever the level, whatever the mean tide is, right? It's going to continue to bring sand. It's going to continue to deposit sand. At some point, it's going to move closer to the mainland, and then it's going to reset back out. I mean,
yeah, and you'll have a big storm that just completely shifts everything. I think that's like, to his point, it's like, it's not going to go away. It might change. It might look different.
Right.
But the ocean's going to just move the sand where it moves the sand, and it'll it'll be here.
During COVID, the island was closed, and we realized that the economy here was doing pretty well with just the locals, with purchasing and going out to dinner and all that stuff. Now, that wasn't for over a year, but for 6 months, we realized that we don't need the tourism as badly as the politicians in Dare County kind of feel we do. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people here, our jobs, everybody's work depends on it to maintain our standard of living.
Yeah.
And I would like everyone that could experience this and appreciate this to come to the island. But what I don't want is people coming here, oh, we need a Starbucks, we need a McDonald's, we need, you know, they come here and they want to make it where they come from and they don't like it there, so they come here kind of thing, you know?
It's like when they wanted to do the hotel in Hatteras. It's like,
yeah,
man, you can go to anywhere else on the East Coast and sit in a hotel on the ocean front. Like, you come here to get away from that.
So you don't have any chain anything down here?
The only thing chain we have is Dairy Queen and Subway.
Subway, yeah.
Okay, so up north in Nags Head, a lot of chains.
A lot of chains.
Sort of blown up out there.
Sure.
Blown out, blown up, however you want to look at it.
Yes.
But down here, none of that.
None of that. And I know you've been all over the world. I grew up in the Philippines. I lived in Mexico. There is no place in the world I would rather live than where I live.
Amen to that.
Yep. My wife and her buddy were fishing here, and a skull, a head, rolled by. Where do you see that?
A skull?
A skull. In 2017, we had an island out here. It was famous, called Shelley Island. A dude found a fossilized woolly mammoth tusk, right? Like,
Alex!
Shark? No?
Ray.
Yep. I love these big rays, though.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you know, I see that.
You want another picture?
No more splash.
Just watch the tail.
Does that tail sting?
Yeah, it's got a little barb on it. See it?
That's pretty gnarly, no?
Yeah, it's got 2 barbs right there. Those are real short ones.
So is that a rush doing that?
Sharks play better.
Well,
Before you guys leave, climb on top of my truck. I'm serious. It's 8 feet, right? You will not believe the difference this place looks like from 8 feet off the ground.
I believe it.
It's just like a boat.
It's like walking up a dune.
Yep.
Yeah.
A dune
Or yeah,
or a boat.
standing in a tower compared to on the deck.
He said climb up the ladder. This is an event. Wow. That was cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's stoked to
And,
take you along.
so guys, if you're into surfing, I didn't know this, but Brett's a big time surfer and you got a channel.
Yeah.
You shredding waves.
Yep, surfing, fishing, it's a little bit of both, but it's majority surfing.
So more local content, link down below in the description. Brett, you're the man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have seen that.
That's so sick. That was
No.
like perfect.
Thanks, man. Later.
Have a good one, man.
All right, we've reached the far south of the island here. We're now in the town of Hatteras. The end of the road for today, but tomorrow we're gonna get on this ferry, go to the next island over called Ocracoke, a place where there are a few people that still speak the Ocracoke brogue. It's a very unique dialect that exists there, barely exists there. Cool journey today. Camera didn't capture it all, obviously. This is quite a bit of driving, but very beautiful part of the country. Thanks for coming along. Until the next one.